King is about to sign. Chiefs Kingdom is buzzing. It's happening, Chiefs fans. Tyreek Hill is on the verge of signing with Kansas City once again. The energy in the building is electric, and the entire Chiefs Kingdom is holding its breath in excitement. This isn't just any signing. This is the return of the cheetah, the spark, the speed, the playmaker that helped build a dynasty. Pairing him back up with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, that's a recipe for offensive chaos and championship-level football. You can feel it coming. The ink is almost dry. The kingdom is ready. The league has been warned. Chiefs fans, are you ready to see Hill back in red and gold? Drop in the comments if you're counting down the seconds. Let me tell you something up front. Greatness doesn't just materialize overnight. When we talk about elite quarterbacks in the National Football League, we must appreciate the odyssey behind the accolades, the blood, the grit, and the relentless pursuit that molded these men into legends. And what we're witnessing in Kansas City's quarterback, that's not just talent. That's transcendence. That's a journey of years in the making, one that began in the humble town of Whitehouse, Texas. Before he was slinging no-look passes on Sundays, before defensive coordinators were losing sleep over his playmaking magic, he was just a determined kid with colossal dreams, grinding on the fields of Whitehouse High School. That's where it all started. The foundation was set, the blueprint sketched, and a vision for greatness born. But here's the part many overlook. He wasn't gifted a golden ticket. He earned every ounce of success back in high school. He wasn't just a quarterback. He was a multi-sport phenom, excelling in baseball, basketball, and football. He didn't just participate, he dominated. Well, that's the differentiator between the good and the elite, the hunger to hone diverse skills across multiple arenas. Let this sink in. 8,000 passing yards in high school. 8,000. That's not talent, that's transcendent execution. And don't forget the 90 touchdowns. Some quarterbacks don't tally that over an entire college career. He was putting up video game stats before most recruits even understood the playbook. And now, Whitehouse High School just enshrined their hometown icon in the Texas High School Hall of Fame. And rightfully so. When greatness walks your halls, you don't just remember it, you celebrate it. But this weekend wasn't just about honoring the past. It was about planting seeds for the future. Because this quarterback, he didn't just show up for his ceremony. He showed up with purpose. He announced the signing of 15 high schools to Team Mahomes. 15. That's not just branding. That's legacy building. That's mentorship. That's igniting belief in young athletes who now get to see what's possible with focus, faith, and fire. And where did he make that announcement? At the place where his dream was born, Whitehouse High. That's called honoring your roots. That's called remembering the village that raised you. And in a world where fame often clouds humility, this man remains anchored. From Whitehouse to Tech to being the 10th overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, his journey has been nothing short of legendary. But what elevates it beyond the highlight reels is this. He's never lost sight of service. He's never forgotten the power of giving back. See, I've watched athletes chase glory only to forget the people who pushed them forward in the shadows. But not this quarterback. He's cut from a different fabric. He understands his platform isn't just a megaphone. It's a mission. That's why his partnership with Adidas resonates. It's not about jerseys or merchandise. It's about creating access, building infrastructure, and lifting up the next wave of dreamers. If a 3-star kid from a small Texas town can become a face of the NFL, so can they. And that right there is what makes this story powerful. Because his evolution from high school hopeful to NFL superstar isn't a tale of luck. It's a testament to relentless grind. It's the result of unshakable belief when few saw what he saw in himself. And what's more, he hasn't just succeeded. He's done it consistently, year after year, level after level. That's the hallmark of true greatness. Not just a rival, but sustained dominance. Now, some might ask, how does high school success translate to NFL excellence? Let me break it down. The habits that forge champions are formed long before the lights come on. The discipline, the film study, the awareness. When he was torching defenses for 8,000 yards, he was cultivating the instincts, reading coverages, manipulating safeties, improvising under pressure. That would one day make him uncontainable. So this Hall of Fame honor, it isn't just a look back, it's a salute to the starting line of a story still being written. A saga built on vision, sacrifice, and evolution. Let's shift to Texas Tech. After Whitehouse, he took his fire to Lubbock, and what he did there was nothing short of electric. Cannon arm, wild creativity, but the intangibles, the processing speed, the field IQ, the common chaos, those were elite. Those are traits you can't coach, only cultivate. So when the Chiefs traded up in 2017 to snatch him at 10, they weren't just drafting a quarterback, they were investing in a culture changer, a franchise savior. And boy, has he delivered. Multiple MVPs, multiple rings, record-breaking dominance. He hasn't just met expectations, he's shattered them. Over and over and over. And he's only just getting started. Here's what truly sets this quarterback apart. He's not satisfied. He's not coasting on past glory. He's not lounging in comfort. He's still starving for more. The same relentless fire that burned in him back at Whitehouse High School, it's still raging today. That hunger, that unyielding drive is what separates him from the rest. Most would grow content after achieving what he has. Multiple Super Bowls, MVPs, global fame, but not him. He's still studying, evolving, relentlessly fine-tuning every detail of his game. That's the mindset of the Immortals. And it's exactly why he's partnering with Adidas to bring 15 high schools under the Team Mahomes banner. Because this isn't just a business venture. This is visionary leadership. It's about investing in the roots, about sowing seeds of belief in the next generation. When these student athletes put on that uniform stamped with the Gladiator logo, they're not just wearing gear. They're wearing belief. They're wearing proof that dreams are reachable, that greatness is achievable. They're seeing more than a design. They're seeing a beacon, a signal that says, if he made it, so can you. And that's how legacies that outlive careers are built, not through highlight reels, but through transformational impact. Now let's zoom in on what this means for Kansas City. As he enters his 9th NFL season, his game isn't regressing, it's ascending. His football IQ is sharper, his leadership more refined, his presence, both on the field and in the locker room, is foundational to the Chiefs' ongoing dominance. This team isn't just chasing its 10th consecutive division title, they're eyeing dynasty status. And let's be honest, while football is a team game, this quarterback is the engine, the heartbeat, the anchor. But beyond the stats, the wins, and the trophies, what's most astonishing is the kind of man he's become. The maturity, the humility, the commitment to community. The way he honors his roots, his team, and the city that's embraced him like family. Now let's talk about those 15 high schools he's backing. This isn't a publicity stunt. It's a public declaration. He's saying, I see your hustle, I recognize your grind, and I'm putting my name, my legacy behind you. That's not just leadership, that's purpose-driven influence. When we talk about legacy, people often rush to stats, touchdowns, records, Super Bowl rings, and while those achievements matter, true legacy goes deeper. It's about how you use your platform. It's about who you elevate along the way. It's about how many lives you ignite with belief. Let's step back for a moment and really appreciate the scale of this story. This man went from a 3-star prospect out of a small Texas town to the face of the NFL. Do you know how rare that is? The odds are astronomical, yet here he stands. Not by chance, but by choice. It wasn't just talent that got him here, though he's got plenty. It was tenacity. It was self-belief when the world barely noticed. It was grind in the shadows when no one was watching. It was taking the long road when others looked for shortcuts. And now, through this Adidas partnership, he's telling the next generation, you don't need 5 stars next to your name. You need heart, you need vision, you need grit. The fire in your soul and the will in your mind will take you further than any ranking ever could. In a world addicted to instant validation, his story is a masterclass in patience and perseverance, a reminder that greatness is earned, not gifted, and that the journey, it's never a straight path. It's the crooked roads, the doubt, the grind. Those shape the champion. Now, let's put his Texas High School Hall of Fame induction into context. This isn't just any honor. This is Texas football, a state where the game is sacred, where Friday nights are cathedrals under the lights. To be inducted here means you didn't just play well, you dominated in a state known for producing some of the greatest football talent in America. 8,000 passing yards, 90 that's generational production. But what's even more astonishing, he didn't peak there. He kept climbing. From Whitehouse to Texas Tech to Kansas City, his arc has never flattened. Some players shine briefly, others burn out early, but the rarest few, the ones who go from good to legendary, they elevate at every level. That's who this quarterback is. Heading into year 9, the Chiefs are still the standard in the AFC West. Still the team every contender is trying to dethrone. And while it takes a full roster to win, let's be real. He's the catalyst, the X factor, the storm the other team can't prepare for. When the Chiefs traded up for him at no NHL 10 in 2017, critics raised eyebrows. They questioned his mechanics, wondered if his flair would translate, doubted his leadership. Well, look now. He didn't just prove them wrong. He redefined the position, but here's the kicker. He's not doing it for validation. He's not chasing headlines. He's playing because he loves this game. He loves his teammates. He loves the city that loves him back. That's why he thrives. That's why he leads. That's why he wins. And that's why, long after he throws his final touchdown, the legacy of this quarterback, the leader, mentor, and empire builder, will still echo through locker rooms, classrooms, and communities across, starting with Whitehouse High School. That's poetry in motion. That's a full circle masterpiece. That's a living tribute to the soil where the seeds of greatness were first planted. These young athletes in Whitehouse, Texas, won't just be wearing a logo. They'll be wearing hope. They'll be putting on proof that greatness doesn't have to come from the spotlight. It can rise from small towns, from quiet beginnings, and it can change everything. Now pause and consider the ripple effect this can have on an entire community. When the most iconic alum returns, not just with cameras, but with commitment, the impact is transformative. It energizes the school, it revitalizes the program, it brings visibility, funding, opportunity, things many small town schools rarely see. This is what real success looks like. Not just stacking up trophies and headlines for personal gain, but elevating others along the journey. That's what this quarterback is doing. That's what legacy looks like in action. Now shift with me to his Texas Tech years. After his chapter at Whitehouse, he took his talents to Lubbock, a stage that allowed his creative genius to explode the air raid system. It gave him room to unleash. We saw the arm strength. We saw the improvisation. We saw the backyard brilliance come alive in a structured offense. Those years weren't just a showcase. They were sculpting seasons. They refined his craft. They taught him how to adapt, how to dominate, and most importantly, they caught the eye of Kansas City's front office. When the Chiefs traded up to snag him with the 10th overall pick in 2017, it was a bold move. It was a calculated gamble. But oh, how that bet has paid off. Multiple Super Bowl appearances, championships, MVPs, a complete organizational transformation. The Chiefs went from playoff heartbreak to dynastic potential, and yet, amid all the glory, he's never lost that childlike joy for the game. That sidearm throw, that no-look dime, That scramble drill wizardry, it's not just quarterbacking, it's magic. It's sandlot football performed under stadium lights. That's why fans idolize him. That's why teammates ride for him. That's why coaches trust him in the fire. Because behind all the acclaim is still that same kid from Whitehouse. The one who plays with joy, heart, and fearless creativity. Let's go back for a second to that Texas High School Hall of Fame induction. That wasn't just a plaque. That was immortality. Think about all the football legends Texas has produced. This is a state where Friday night lights are sacred, where the stadium is the heartbeat of the town. To be inducted among the state's best is a cultural coronation. And now his name sits among giants, not just for what he's done, but for how he's done it. With class, with humility, with unshakable roots. That humility, that loyalty to home, it's rare. In an age where fame often fractures identity, this quarterback has stayed anchored. He hasn't forgotten where he came from. He hasn't turned his back on the town that raised him. And that's why this Adidas partnership, this bold move to sponsor 15 high schools, is more than branding. It's benevolence, it's leadership, it's a mission. He's telling those kids, I see you, I believe in you, and I've got your back. Imagine what that does to a young athlete's mindset. Imagine putting on that Gladiator logo and knowing that one of the greatest quarterbacks alive is backing your program. That's not just motivation, that's trajectory-altering inspiration. And this is why I respect him beyond the field. He understands his platform isn't just a spotlight, it's a torch. He's not using it to shine on himself, he's lighting paths for others. As Kansas City approaches the 2025 season, expectations are once again through the roof, and rightfully so. This will be his 9th year under center, and the bar has never been higher. In fact, anything short of a deep playoff push is seen as a letdown. That's the burden of sustained brilliance. But here's the thing. He doesn't run from pressure. He feeds on it. He owns the moment. He welcomes the weight of the crown because he's built for it. 10 straight division titles? That's what Kansas City is chasing. And in a league built for parity, where rosters flip, dynasties fade, and success is always under siege, 10 in a row is the stuff of legend. And let's be clear, yes, it takes an army. From Brett Veach in the front office to Andy Reid on the sideline, it's a team effort. But the engine of it all, the constant in the chaos, it's him. That's what elite quarterbacks do. They elevate everyone around them. They don't just play well, they lead well. They shift the culture. They build belief. They set standards that ripple through an entire locker room. This season is another opportunity, another chapter in a story that's already cemented in NFL lore. Another chance to silence the last remaining skeptics. Another platform to etch his name deeper into history. But even more thrilling, watching him evolve, watching him grow, not just as a player, but as a man, a mentor, a movement.